this was the first enemy position to open fire. If you turn around and look back down the hill, you'll notice how very little you can actually see, which would help explain why 42 K Company got so far up the hill and so close without being contacted. If this position had only been pushed forward 30 metres onto that rise where we stopped, there would have been a much better chance of spotting the enemy line. This is a good opportunity to speak about the enemy. It was 4th Infantry Regiment under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Diego Sora. He had 2 companies under his command. He had B Company from his own regiment, and then another B Company from 12th Infantry Regiment. The majority of the defences were very much centred towards the east. And as you can see, there's no real fortified positions, but when we go over to the other side, you'll see that they've made stone sangers and really fortified that area as best they could. So these areas back here were very much the sort of rear defence. So pretty much just sentries, early warning, but not really fortified in any way. The majority of the Argentine forces were conscripts. Many of them were pulled out of training early to come and fight in the Falklands. A lot of them didn't even know how to zero their weapons, let alone perform correct wet and dry drills. They were on this position, static, for 3 weeks prior to the attack. And seeing as they're used to training in the jungles of South America, this was very much a contrast to what they were used to. And the conditions up here were, as you can imagine, would have been pretty awful, and the degradation that would have occurred would have been pretty high. So by the point the attack came, these guys really weren't that interested. As we'll move up, we'll see different things, but by the time that 42 came through here, they had a lot of POWs. They didn't really meet a lot of resistance until they got to the higher points and the more fortified areas. As you see here, there's a few bits on the ground that's been collected and just compiled here. You'll notice that on the way up. A lot of stuff just gets collected and put into little piles. Plimsolls, I've heard 2 stories. One I believe, the other not so much. But the first one, the story I was told, was that these were given to Argentine soldiers during the night, and their boots taken off of them by officers and senior NCOs. So if they decided to desert in the middle of the night, they wouldn't get very far. Don't really think that's real. The other story is simply they were issued these to sleep in at night, so that they could react more quickly if they were bumped. But choose to believe whatever story you want. But that's sort of it here.